Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a really fun book review, and it's going to be mini reviews on two Saved by the Bell books. I thought it would be really fun to review these, talk a little bit about the topics and my thoughts on them. These are very nostalgic books for me. I love the Saved by the Bell TV series, the college years, and the books have not failed to impress me. They are so good in my opinion. I did give both of these 5 out of 5 stars. They are brand new stories as far as I can tell, but they're very true to the TV shows in my opinion, and the plots are really good. So let's jump in. The first one is That Old Zack Magic. It says, Zack dares Mario to spend a night alone at Bayside High, and suddenly the whole gang is on the idea. After all, who wants to miss out on getting to the bottom of the mysterious things that have been happening recently at Bayside? But while Zack and Mario are busy planning the gang's major campout, Lisa is sinking deeper and deeper into super hunk withdrawal. Ever since her adorable new neighbour moved in, Cal Everhart's had wandering eyes. What the gang discovers that night at school, even Zack can't explain, and with the many of the mysteries still unresolved, the bizarre legend of Eerie Eddie seems more real than ever. Will Zack and the gang uncover the truth, and will Lisa win back Cal this time forever? So, really exciting. This book starts off with them being in class and there's a big thunderstorm, knocks out all the lights. Mr. Belding comes around and he ends up telling the kids this story about a previous student called Eddie, named Eerie Eddie, and supposedly, we're not sure if Belding's made up the story or if it is a real myth of Bayside, but Eddie supposedly was one day found dead at the bottom of the stairs at the school, and ever since has been sort of wandering the halls at night. And so the kids obviously jump onto this super cool idea of there being a potential ghost in the school and decide that they're going to dare each other to spend the night and try and find out and uncover if there really is ghosts roaming Bayside. So that is kind of the main story. Like I said, there is a sideline. There is always sidelines with this of sort of other characters. So the main ones following, obviously, Zack and Mario. I've just realised, I thought, that why does that not sound right? They call him Mario. It's obviously Slater. Weird, I've literally only just noticed that that is because obviously he's called Slater in the book. How funny. No one picked up on that. This is the British pressing of it because it says Channel 4, so it would be interesting to see if it's the same on American copies or if at some point they later changed this. I don't know, but that's kind of a fun Easter egg. Anyway, so Zack and Slater challenge each other to be in the school. Like I said, they're kind of the main two characters. And then we also follow Lisa, who has the hots for her boyfriend Cal. However, he has a new neighbour who is being quite buddy-buddy. And so Lisa wants to try and pull her away and try and set Cal up with Slater. But little does she know that Slater and Jessie are still on again, off again, kind of getting back together, which is a theme that obviously happened in the show. So there's very much little elements you can pick out from the TV shows, but as far as being a whole, it is a brand new book and plot. Okay. And so this is just a really light-hearted book. To start with, we get the impression that Zack is potentially behind some of what's maybe going on. We kind of get that impression. And what takes a turn is they actually end up getting quite friendly with like the janitor on site at school, and he is hiding a friend who is a Mexican immigrant, and Jessie gets quite buddy-buddy with him and learns about his story and the kind of injustice of him having to flee from Mexico and come to the States. And so she writes an article in the local paper, or in the school paper, that the local paper then picks up. And what Jessie doesn't know is she's really put his life at danger because of what he didn't tell her and the actual reason why he had to flee Mexico. And so this has such a hard-hitting, very on-point topical aspect to it. Obviously there's a lot going on both in the UK and in America with immigration, and everything, especially what's going on with America. It really mirrors this book. It's really freaky to have picked this up right now, but that is something that obviously they had in the shows. They had these really funny storylines, but then they also had some very hard-hitting topics, and so in this book it did cover some about sort of immigration. I thought it was a really good book, couldn't fault it. And then we've got Kelly's hero. So this says, working's the pits. Of course, that's not exactly news to Kelly, but things have gone from bad to worse since she's taken a second job. Not only is her social life totally wiped out, but her boss is an absolute creep. He's always being so friendly to her, too friendly as far as Kelly's concerned. Zach thinks she's just being oversensitive female. What harm is there in a guy being nice? But when it comes clear that her boss really does expect a little something extra, Kelly's in need of a hero. Will Zach come to her rescue, or has he decided to stick with the boys? This book mainly centres around the local country club. Zach's dad is trying to win a deal with the country club's owners, so Zach goes along to try and kind of get friendly with the boss's daughter, which obviously is not very hard for him. Meanwhile, Kelly gets a waitressing job at the said country club and quickly finds out that it's a lot harder than she thought, mainly because her boss is being very creepy and wants a day out of her, and if he doesn't, he's going to make her life basically hell while she's at work. And so Kelly is set out to try and prove that he is a sleazeball, and she tries to set him up. And so obviously sexual harassment and all that sort of side of things is very prevalent in this book, and again another big topic that it covers. And you know, I feel like it really reflects what women go through from not being believed. Obviously Zach initially just sort of brushes her off, and also obviously one of Kelly's co-workers doesn't want to sort of also speak up that she's also experienced it because she doesn't want to put her own job at risk. And so again, very topical book. It does have obviously some light-hearted elements, but this did feel slightly on the heavier side. You do have a second subplot line of Lisa and Jesse and Screech and Slater going on a scavenger hunt around LA. That side I wasn't too interested in, but yeah, the story with Kelly mainly being the centre character, I thought was a really hard-hitting topic and a really good one that they covered. And it did make you feel uncomfortable at times, just through, you know, the subject and how well written it was for, you know, for being, it's kind of, it's between sort of that high school YA sort of age group that I guess that it's aimed at, and I think it really did very well to hit it on the head and cover it for a younger audience. And also I really liked how Zach really very much stood up in the end to his father. He really sort of made his own decisions and kind of did the best for him and his friends, and yeah, I thought that was very commendable of Zach to do in the end, and stick by Kelly's side. So two very good Saved by the Bell books. I've got a ton of others to read. I'm hopefully maybe later in the year going to do a sort of reading vlog if you would like to see that. But let me know if you might try and source out some of these. I mainly have got mine on eBay. You can pick them up on Vinted from time to time. But yeah, I just can't believe of that that sort of misprint on the back with Mario and not being Slater. That's just funny. Anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this sort of little fun mini book review, but actually really hard-hitting topics, so I would definitely recommend them. They're not just sort of teenage airy-fairy love interests. They have some good plots to them. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed seeing this video, and I will see you very soon. Bye guys.